Tom Curran doing what he does best. The 3-times world champion has orchestrated some of the most radical moves ever seen in professional surfing, but deep in WA's scenic southwest, Tom Curran has been orchestrating moves of a totally different kind.
You guys come in on the 3rd time.
We're just going to become assistant.
The 28-year-old Californian has gathered together the cream of Perth's music industry to record his debut album.
Just the opportunity to come and play with these guys is really what inspired me. The thing that I like the most is to establish a relationship with other musicians and to be able to communicate somewhat with them.
But communicating hasn't always been easy for Curran, a loner who shuns the hype of the pro surfing circus. He says music helps him escape the pressures of high-profile sports.
I probably have a similar style of surfing to the kind of music I like to play. My whole attitude on a wave is not like a heavy metal attitude, I guess, and same with music.
As yet unnamed album is being produced by Perth's Planet Studios. The style ranges from rhythm and blues to psychedelic. The venue, a natural limestone amphitheatre.
The amphitheatre here has about the best possibility for recording sound that you can find.
Having just signed a $2 million sponsorship deal with clothing and wetsuit company Reverb, Curran admits he's not doing it for the money. Part of the proceeds will go to the Surfrider Foundation, a group formed to protect the world's coastal regions.
Whatever happens, it'll stand or fall on its musical merit. I wouldn't buy a CD off anybody if it wasn't good.
The sport of surfing is like no other in the world. The contest carries few rules, the field knows no boundaries, and the players compete not against each other, but against the elements. Like their sport, surfers embody a free-spirited lifestyle and move to the rhythms of seasons, currents, and tides. I'm Mike Lambrisi, and on this issue of Surfer Magazine, we'll journey to the Australian outback with 3-time world champion Tom Curran. On this issue of Surfer Magazine, field reporter Sonny Miller goes on assignment to the rugged shores of Western Australia with 3-time world champion Tom Curran and Rip Curl teammates Jamie Brisick of California, Frankie Oberhauser of South Africa, and Aussie cadet Chris Davidson. While all the surfers had traveled to West Oz for waves, Curran was there for a special music project, and most of the music on this show he recorded during the trip. Stay tuned as Surfer goes soul-searching in Australia after this.
No surfer attracts more attention than Tom Curran. In 10 years on the Association of Surfing Professionals World Tour, Curran has won 3 world championships and holds most of the tour's records. Most contests won, most prize money. He is both the oldest and youngest world champion, first winning the title in 1986 at age 21 and reclaiming it 5 years later at age 26. As the 1991 ASB season drew to a close, Curran had no chance of winning a fourth world title, but he arrived in Hawaii determined to fulfill a career and personal goal: win a contest in the powerful surf of Oahu's North Shore. He pulled it off in the first contest of the Hawaiian Triple Crown, winning a spectacular final against Australian Tom Carroll, Hawaiian Johnny Boy Gomes, and South African expatriate Martin Potter. This year, the ASB season opened up in Australia with a new and untested contest format. At the Rip Curl Coke Easter Classic at Bells Beach and the Coke Surfer Bout at Narrabeen, the early rounds of the main event featured 3 surfers in each heat, rather than the man-on-man format that the ASP has used for years. Curran placed 5th at Bells, but at the Coke Classic at Narrabeen in Sydney, he protested the new 3-man system by intentionally missing his 3rd preliminary heat. His silent protest resulted in a $2,000 fine from the ASP board, but by the time the fine was imposed, Curran had already bailed. He wanted to surf without a contest jersey, and he wanted to make some music. Curran's search took him to the raw coastline and blue waters of Western Australia. An accomplished guitarist and drummer, Tom was invited to Western Oz by a group of musicians to collaborate on some music at a remote ranch near Margaret River. It was an ideal setup for Tom, who likes to balance the physical act of surfing with the emotional release of music. Joining Tom on this Team Rip Curl expedition to the Indian Ocean was South African Frankie Oberhauser and Australian cadet champion Chris Davo Davidson. To record the adventure, Surfer Magazine correspondent Jamie Brissick took notes for an article that will appear in the September issue of Surfer. Photographer Ted Grambeau and I took to the water to record the session on film. Whether on a board or behind a camera, it's always a buzz to be in the water with Curran. Swapping tubes with the former world champ, Frankie, Jamie, and Davo quickly elevated their surfing to new levels. It was a fun beach break session at Windmills, a couple of barrels, some stylish snaps. But surfing wasn't Tom's only reason for coming to Western Australia. He left the beach loose and peaceful, the perfect mood for making music. Coming up, a session of a different sort. Tom, Curran, and friends jamming in a natural amphitheater hidden away in the Australian wilds. It was the search that brought Tom Curran to Western Australia, and he'd already found good waves. What was it then that brought Tom back to this ranch at the end of each day of surf and kept him going long into the night?
It's to capture Tom's music in an environment that he's comfortable in, which is here in Yallingup, where it's the best surf in the world, and recording it outside in the amphitheatre underneath the sky. It's great.
None of these musicians had ever played together before. The music experience was all new, and the setting served as their inspiration. Curran played guitar into the night, but the next morning he was up early, psyched to go for a surf. Armed with some fresh cassettes of the recording session, we jumped into and on top of a veteran Land Rover and went surf exploring along the Western Australian coast. Surfing Western Australia is a lot like surfing Baja. Most of the coastline is off the main highway, and you end up with dust in your hair, bugs in your teeth, and rattled kidneys as you cruise through the bush looking for surf.
Put it on the waves, man. Show them what it's looked like.
In the middle of nowhere, with open land on one side and open ocean on the other, we found a throaty little right-hander we called Reverb Reef. All of our crew hit the water in a flash, leaving wakes of brown dust as they paddled into the lineup. after this session that I realized what a good crew we had. 4 great surfers, all of them comfortable in the barrel. Davo, he left a big impression on all of us with his poise in the tube. And Frankie left a big impression on my camera when he ran into me. Leaving Reverb Reef, Curren split off to hit the recording studio. But the rest of the guys were still hungry for surf. We'd heard about a left-hander down the road and set off to do some backside blasting. Another day, another adventure. We let some of our new friends lead the way.
Yeah. Whatever your next best ball.
You know better than anyone. We'll follow.
Not every hot young surfer competes. 20-year-old Frankie Oberhauser is an incredible surfer who doesn't do that well in contests. He may never be a world champion, but he hasn't let that kill his pure enthusiasm for riding waves. This was his first trip to Australia, and he was jazzed.
It's just unreal. It's like a full mission, you know? You go through the bush, and all of a sudden you pop up out of you just pop up out of nowhere, through hills. It's onshore the other side, you get the other side, and it's just offshore, and these perfect barrels coming. I'm just searching for waves.
The band had really got it together. and the surfers had found more than they had expected here. Our stay in Oz was over, but the search was just beginning. For Surfer Magazine, I'm Sonny Miller, off on another adventure with Tom Curran and Team Rip Curl.
The search never ends. So what is surfing really about? Contest, fame, adventure? For every surfer it's different. But if you keep searching, you'll get closer to an answer.
chemicals and they blow the waste away. Down the pipes and through the ground they go each and every day. And the water keep on moving under cities, under streets. The river flow back to the sea, back into the chain. We cannot survive without it.